Compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law. I wish to state that on March the 6th, 2020, the notice of this meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, mailed to the Cape May County Gazette, the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel, Ledger of the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded, we hope, and up until the closed session portion of the meeting, and will be available on UTTV Channel 97 and on the Upper Township website. I hereby direct that this announcement be made a part of the minutes of this meeting. I would ask all to rise for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Barbara, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Coggin?
Here.
Mr. Crusoe?
Present.
Mr. Young?
Here.
Mayor Palumbo?
Here. So today, I think we're going to move the agenda around a little bit. Leon, bear with us for a few minutes. We have a couple presentations to make, which are incredibly unique, and I'm really excited to be able to be a part of this, to honor two men that have given over 50 years of their lives to the dedication of the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company. So we'll read each one because for 50 years of service, they certainly deserve singular recognition. So Robert, if you would come up, I'll read the resolution, and I know we're all very happy your family's here. They're certainly welcome to join you as well. But the resolution reads, whereas Robert J. Young Sr. first joined the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company in September of 1969 at the age of 18. Robert has generously volunteered his personal time and service to the Tuckahoe Volunteer Company in Upper Township Fire District 2 for 50 years. And during his years with the fire company, he was first and foremost a fireman dedicated to the safety and well-being of the citizens of our community, while earning the respect and high regard of his fellow firemen for his valor, strength, and compassion wherever called to duty. Robert has served the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company in many capacities: firefighter, captain, and secretary. In addition, Robert has served for more than 30 years as a commissioner on the Upper Township Fire District 2 Board of Fire Commissioners, and is currently serving as its chairman. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee, on behalf of the citizens of the Township, we do hereby congratulate Robert J. Young Sr. for 50 years of service to the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company, Fire District 2, and extend to him our heartfelt thanks and gratitude for the generous donation of his time and service to this community. That deserves an incredible round of applause.
Last week, I got this, I just want to call off guard and didn't say anything. So tonight, I was thinking about this week. First of all, it's been my honor to serve with all you guys for this long. And I want to thank all others for putting up with me. And I just appreciate everything. You know, I kind of wish I was starting over, but I'm not. But thanks. Thank you.
You guys are welcome to come up and join us. Scott, get in there. Andy, stick your belly out a little more.
Oh my God, look how, it takes you like 2 hours to do a picture. Look at it. Just like he talks. All right, don't go far because we have the next one to present.
You guys want to stay up or stay up here?
So even more unique is that not only did one person complete 50 years of service, 2 persons have completed it, which I think doubles the recognition and just an incredible amount of, volunteerism that the 2 of you put together, combined 100 years of service to the township. So I'd like to read this for Scott if I could. Whereas Winfield Scott Mulger first joined the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company in November of 1969. Scott has generously volunteered his personal time and service to the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company, Upper Township Fire District 2, for 50 years. Whereas during his years with the fire company, he was first and foremost a fireman committed to the safety and well-being of the citizens of our community, while earning respect and high regard of his fellow firemen for his valor, strength, compassion, whenever duty called. Whereas Scott has served at the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company, volunteering numerous hours as a firefighter. In addition, Scott has served for more than 40 years as the Commissioner of the Upper Township Fire District 2 Board of Fire Commissioners and is currently serving as its treasurer. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township of Upper, on behalf of the citizens of the Township of Upper, we do hereby congratulate Scott Mulger for 50 years of service to the Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company, Fire District 2, and extend to him our heartfelt thanks, gratitude for all the generous donation of his time to his community and service beyond belief. Congratulations. What an incredible accomplishment. Thank you for all your service to the township. Amazing. Let's take this picture with Art Ruth, if you wouldn't mind, your family too. And then we'll have the firemen come on.
Smile, Chris. Sorry, you have a picture there.
All right, now, if you guys would join me, we'll move up here.
I'm trying to get every picture.
He's going to do a new speech. On behalf of the fire department, I present you with this plaque for 50 years of service. Thank you.
All right, one more round of applause for these 2 incredible guys. Now, you're all welcome to stay, but you're also welcome to go. I know it's work night, school night, and everything else.
That's because the chief
Duty may call. So, thank you all for coming out
Chief's in the
tonight.
FBI Academy, not here to put up.
We can see how it's
Pass it down.
No, that's I went for the example of the show because we're going to talk a little bit about COVID-19 and the need to have
We're going to sell that on eBay.
That's how it works. Will do. do you next, Leon, so you get out.
Well, there's only what, 6 of them? They're lucky they can throw a fucking, yeah, they
Thank you all.
come to the chief meeting.
Good night.
Have a great night.
They get 2 of them at chief's meeting, that's all.
Okay, so
They actually do it.
we've done a lot of work on our budget, and I'm going to turn it over to Committeeman Coggins. I know we have our auditor here, Leon Costella. We'll go through all the processes and introductions that we need to do, and then we'll circle back to the report of the governing body members. So, John, I don't know if you have any final thoughts, and then we'll bring Leon into the discussion.
No, other than thanking all the department heads for their really difficult work this time around, and also for their generosity in getting us to where we needed to be.
Okay. So Leon, do you want to lead us through some review of where we're at? And
So tonight is the introduction of the budget, even though you've been working on it for months. And officially, this opens up the budget season as far as the state's concerned. The budget has to be in balance, and it is, has to comply with the cap laws, and it does. And it has a 0.4 cent tax increase, so less than half a cent tax increase.
which is tremendous work by, again, all of our department heads. I know, Barbara, you have done, you've worked closely with John, and the committee certainly put their 2 cents into everything, but you guys did a great job preparing and giving us a summary of everything we needed to do. So, I think 0.4 cents is amazing, considering we have increases in insurance, health insurance, regular insurance, salaries. There are things that we really don't have a handle on, meaning, we don't have a way of cutting them out without cutting our staff out. So in order to keep the services going, it's quite an accomplishment to be where we are, so.
And what'll happen is that Barbara will read a resolution, and need at least 3 people will say yes to move forward. And then this will go to this state, because you are under state review. Every 1 out of every 3 years you are, and this is the 1 year that you are. Your public hearing is scheduled for April 6th. At that time, hopefully we'll adopt the budget as is, without any changes. And you'll be on your way. So Barbara will read a resolution and take a roll call on it, and that'll formally introduce the budget, and then off you go.
Okay.
First, you're going to do the cap ordinance, yeah, which is meaningless, but you have to do it.
Okay, you ready? Introduction and first reading of ordinance number 3, 2020, for calendar year 2020, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-45.14. And as Leon said, the public hearing on this
Same
will be,
time.
April 6th.
Yeah.
Motion to introduce ordinance number 003-2020.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried with all in favor. Item number 2, we have the introduction of the budget. Municipal budget of the Township of Upper in the County of Cape May for the fiscal year 2020. Be it resolved that the following statements of revenues and appropriations shall constitute the municipal budget for the year 2020. Be it further resolved that said budget will be published in the press, Atlantic City, in the issue of March 24th, 2020. The governing body of the Township of Upper does hereby approve the following as the budget for the year 2020.
Make a motion to introduce the 2020 budget.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So then I'll see you in a month, and we'll hopefully adopt this.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you, Leon.
Appreciate all your help.
Thanks.
Right, so do you want to do number 3, and then we'll go back to
And then we'll
the...
go back up to the minutes. Okay, all right. Item number 3, authorizing the execution of a group affidavit Reference to the governing body certification of compliance with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's enforcement guidance on the consideration of arrest and conviction records and employment decisions under Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried.
All right, we're going to go back to the reports. Scott?
And the minutes?
And the minutes. Okay, so would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes, February 24th, regular and closed session minutes?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Is there any corrections, deletions, omissions that anyone's aware of?
Abstain. Two are going to abstain, right? Was that? No, I'm sorry. That was a closed session. Never mind. You're okay.
Yeah, the closed session, I was out on part of it. Was it?
Right, for
Right.
closed session, but
Yeah.
not in the other.
All right,
Okay.
so we
we're
should do
okay.
the open session separately then.
So,
So
Yeah, so-
would you like to amend your motion to, make a motion to approve the open session meetings of February 24th? Whoever made the motion.
Motion to approve the open session?
Second.
All right, Mr. Young, second. All right, Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried with all in favor. Now we have the closed session.
And would someone like to make a motion for the closed session minutes?
Motion to approve the closed session minutes.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Abstain for a portion.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried with 4 in favor.
All right.
Okay.
So Scott, do you have anything for us this evening?
Yes, good evening, Mayor, committee members. I just wanted to report this evening on the current status of the township and emergency management within the township with respect to COVID-19, the COVID-19 virus. The Upper Township Office of Emergency Management has been working in conjunction with the Cape May County Office of Emergency Management to stay informed on the latest developments of the COVID-19 outbreak. Cape May County Emergency Management has been working closely with the New Jersey State Police Office of Emergency Management, New Jersey Health Department, and the CDC through conference calls multiple times a week in order to learn and disseminate the latest information on the virus and precautionary measures to lessen the community spread of COVID-19. All information that I'm going to read this evening, and I'm going to be brief, and that we're about to impart, can be found on the Upper Township website, www.uppertownship.com, and also at the CDC website, www.cdc.gov, also having links through our Upper Township website. A few precautionary tips to prevent the spread of any respiratory illness, not just COVID-19. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Stay home when you are sick, except to get medical care. And the recommendation is to call your local physician if you suspect you have a respiratory illness before heading to the doctor's office so they can properly direct you. Cover your coughs and sneezes. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after going to the bathroom, before eating, and like I said, coughing and sneezing. Soap and water are not readily available. Use hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Always wash your hands with soap and water if your hands are visibly dirty. And there's a litany of different products out there that are supported by the EPA and also the CDC with respect to cleaning surfaces such as keyboards at work, mouse devices, doorknobs, all these things, whether it be at work or at home. That is the recommendation. All common sense recommendations for stopping the spread of most community spread illnesses, such as COVID-19. And just to put this into perspective, COVID-19 cases actually and suspected in the United States reported as of today's date. We have 72 travel-related, person-to-person spread 29, For a total of, 322 that are still under investigation and not yet confirmed by the CDC, for a total of 423 total cases in the United States as of today's date. And again, the website gives a litany of different numbers that it has achieved through the World Health Organization and also through CDC that really identifies, for instance, the seasonal influenza virus between 2018 and 2019. We had deaths worldwide, 61,000. So there are a lot of numbers out there that are much higher than what we are experiencing here with the COVID-19 to date. So again, the recommendation out there and what Upper Township Emergency Management and also our EMS division believe that understanding through facts and education and educating our local residents and the general public to any illness outbreak will greatly minimize and hopefully eliminate any community panic, and that's exactly what we're attempting to do.
So do we have anything that's like a quick FAQ or something where we can have something easy for the residents to read at a quick glance versus going on CDC's website?
Well, actually on the CDC website, at the beginning of their website, that information is there and it's updated and it's a quick, majority of what I just read comes directly from the CDC.
We need to find a way, because the ones that are most susceptible from COVID-19 are seniors and greater.
Anybody
so they may not have the ability to use a computer or go on a website. And I'm not saying, like, my father's 80-something, he knows how to do it, and there's a lot to do, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I want to make sure that those that, for whatever reason, have no interest in working on a computer or don't have a computer, like, how are we going to get that information out to them? So, my thinking is, it may well be that we do a code red on so we call everyone and leave some sort of summary on, here's some recommendations by CDC, wash your hands as often as possible, make sure you clean surfaces that other people have touched, like doorknobs, phones or whatever, etc. Because I just have concerns that the identified group of individuals that are the most susceptible are those that have some sort of immunocompromised situation in their lives, or have diabetes or cardiovascular issues and those kind of things, that we're not reaching them.
We can absolutely do that.
And we need to do that with a code red. So I don't want to be an alarmist. I know that I can tell you personally, I've spent a boatload of conference calls. I work in pharmacy, so there's a lot of things that are going on in that neighborhood of it. But I would like to somehow reach our folks so that everybody hears it, plain and simple. We're not trying in any way to exacerbate this whole situation, but we do want to get this information out to our folks. And I think if we do it in a calm calm voice or whatever, that people will accept it. So
we can absolutely do that. Yes.
All right, good.
And that is all I have this evening.
Okay, great. Barbara.
I just have one request, and that is for myself to attend the New Jersey Municipal Clerks Association Conference. It's a 3-day conference. It's from April 27th to April 30th. Hopefully it'll still, they'll have it. And that's it. That's all I have.
I mean, and I think that's important to realize. I'll make a motion to approve your attendance. And if someone would second that.
Second.
With the idea that if for whatever reason the state, says, this is not a good idea, or even if we have issues locally that we're trying to address, that would be the only caveat, to not allow you to go, whatever, so.
Absolutely. I wanted to get it in so that we can get there's a discount if you register. I think it's April 10th, before April 10th.
So would you call the roll?
Okay. Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Thank you very much. That's all I have. Thank you.
Daniel?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Barbara?
There's nothing at this time.
Committeeman Coggins.
Nothing to see.
We're moving right along. Committeeman Young. I know you have something.
Just two items. First, again, the Upper Township Easter egg hunt is scheduled for Saturday, April the 4th, 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. The rain date will be April 5th. It's at Amanda's Field. We'll be doing the egg hunt starting at 1 o'clock. I'll have the Easter Bunny there again for photo shoots, as well as face painting. Tentatively, we're having a petting zoo come in. Allison, I think, bring her back in, which is the really nice one. So, again, we're looking for some volunteers to help out putting eggs out and different things. You can contact Larry Cole at the community center, give him your name and phone number, and I'm sure he'll get back to you. And also, I saw a post from our challenge or sports program on Facebook the other day. They are looking for baseball coaches for the spring season. And it's basically, you don't have to know anything about the sport. You just have to be able to go out there and interact with the kids and help them run through the bases and participate in what they're doing and laugh and have a good time, basically. So if anybody's interested in that, again, contact Larry and he'll steer you in the right direction. That's it.
Okay, great.
Oh, I'm sorry, and Scott's got one thing that
In the absence of Mr. Dietrich, he asked me to inform a committee and our residents that there will be on Saturday, March the 28th, a seedling giveaway at Amanda's Field between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m.
Seedling for trees.
For trees,
yeah,
correct.
trees again.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Barr.
I have nothing to report this time, sir.
Committeeman Corson.
This time I have nothing.
Okay, I only have one other thing. I received an email from an Upper Township resident, Isabella, if I say this right, Frund. And she is the Miss New Jersey Outstanding Teen. And her platform is Make-A-Wish. And she'd like to know how she could work with us to partner and get this information out so that folks would be willing to work with her in her fundraiser. Now, I know we don't normally do a lot of things to this nature, but I do think that we may be able to do something with the website and you know.
Would she be able to come in and give us a presentation?
Well, that was my other thought. In fact, I sent that to Barbara saying, you know, maybe we can ask her to come and give a presentation. Her platform is Make-A-Wish, and she's raised over $20,000 so far. She does have, she talks about her sibling who took part in the Make-A-Wish. He has some physical issues, I believe. And anyway, so she would like to, I guess we could have her in at the next meeting and just give us a little update, and then we can certainly partner with her and put something on, you know, the website or whatever.
Does she, what is the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Yeah.
And
that's her platform, and she's from Upper
and
Township.
that's who somebody would make a check out to if they were one of them?
Yes, so, you know, get your checkbook out, Curtis, and we all need to make a donation to it. It seems like a great cause. In fact, it really is a very big success across the country. And I don't know if you've seen the movie, but the movie's really entertaining. It talks how this all became a reality, so.
Well, I think we should have it at our next meeting, and I think we should make it an effort to all bring our checkbooks.
All right. You heard it first.
That's everybody.
Write it up, baby.
Do you take debit card?
Yeah, so, okay, it's a great cause, so if you could, because that's exactly what I had emailed back to Barbara with that suggestion, right?
I'll
So,
reach out to her.
right, so let's move on to the resolutions.
Okay. All right, item number 6 on the resolution, granting the appeal of the street opening moratorium for block 485, lot 1.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Colombo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
Before you move on to the next resolution, we've had a couple of these in the last couple of years. There was a discussion a year or two ago as to whether or not you wanted to amend the ordinance so that they can be approved administratively with essentially the same conditions that are in this resolution. The effect of it would be that if there's an opening of a street that's been recently paved, it essentially would be approved by engineering in the clerk's office as opposed to the township committee. It's up to you guys. Do you want to see these or not, or would you rather them be approved administratively? If you do them, want to approve administratively, then we will produce an ordinance for it.
I think we have to realize that for the most part, when we address these, we turn to Paul and say, are you okay with how they're paving it? So I think we should rely on his expertise and, with the caveat that if there's some exceptional, unorthodox request for, a street opening or whatever, that be brought to the township committee. But routine things, I think, in an effort to try and streamline things a little bit, we're going to ask him for his expertise anyway on it. And, for the most part, it seems like it's, really a cut and dry kind of opportunity. So I think the request is well taken, and if we grant that, then, he can move forward and make that decision, without bringing it to us all the time.
We'll bring an ordinance to you for introduction.
I mean, in an emergency situation, it takes 2 weeks. If we talk about it one meeting, so it's...
Well, it'll be approved quicker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
With an administrative approval than it would be.
Yeah, so if somebody has an emergency, trying to get a water hookup with a bad well or something, it's a no-brainer. It takes it off us.
Okay. That's all I have for that.
All right, moving on, item number 7, authorizing an affiliation and medical direction agreement with Atlantic Care Regional Medical Center for basic life support and ambulance services.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion's carried. 8, amending Resolution 351, 2019, authorizing the execution of a subcontract with the County of Cape May for the state fiscal year 2021 Municipal Alliance Program.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Carried. 9, authorizing a grant application and agreement with the Federal Emergency Management Agency for an assistance to firefighters grant.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried. Item number 10, authorizing the mayor to sign a deed of dedication and perpetual public access easement.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried. 11, approving flood insurance promotion activity with the Atlantic Cape Multi-Jurisdictional Program for public information.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion's carried. 12, authorizing the chief financial officer to withdraw funds in the amount not to exceed $25,000 for repairs to recycling trash trucks and equipment on an as-needed basis from the account entitled Recycling Trust Account.
Motion to authorize.
Second?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
13, refund EMS ambulance billing overpayment to Cigna Healthcare.
Well, I have to accuse myself, I work for Cigna.
Move the resolution?
Second?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo abstains.
Recused.
All right, item number 14, refund ambulance billing overpayment to United Healthcare Insurance Company.
Move the resolution?
Second?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 15, expressing support for legislation increasing state funding to the Shore Protection Fund from $25 million to $50 million, so to A63/S-1071.
Move the resolution?
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
and Mayor Plumbo.
Yes.
Item number 16, under ordinances, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 4, 2020, and ordinance amending Chapter 21, use of township facilities of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Upper, and this would be, the public hearing would be April 6th for this.
All right, and someone like to make a motion to introduce?
Motion to introduce.
First and
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 17, St. Maximilian Colby Parish requests use of the Strathmere Beach at East Williams Road for an Easter sunrise mass on Sunday, April 12, 2020, at 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., and a feast day celebration on Friday, August 14, 2020, from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Move we grant approval. Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 18, St. Maximilian Colby Parish requests to hold a raffle, number 531 on Strathmere Beach at East Williams Road on August 14, 2020.
Move we grant approval. Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 19, Mike Moran of the Historical Preservation Society of Upper Township requests use of the Tuckahoe train station grounds for a Tuckahoe Transportation Heritage Festival on Saturday, August 25th, 2020. April 25th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
I hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then incorporated into the full minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Call roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So there are a number of reports from our municipal departments, Animal Control, Construction Code, Department of Public Works, the MUA, and the Tax Collector. All these reports will be available upon request tomorrow in the clerk's office, but I'll make a motion to accept the reports.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So we've reached the public comment portion of the meeting. Anyone that would like to address the Township Committee, now's the time to do so. Please come to the podium, state your name and your address and your reasoning for addressing the Township Committee. All seems very quiet out there this evening. It appears there's no public comment this evening, so I'll close the public comment portion of the meeting and entertain a motion to go to executive session.
I hereby move the resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into an executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. The matters are contract negotiation for 4th of July fireworks, for safety and security regarding Ocean First Bank, for Bainbridge Associates, and for Upper Township Rescue Squad, and also personnel. I include in my motion the estimated time and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. It is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Committee that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. With respect to employment and personnel matters, such discussions will be made public if and when formal action is taken or when the individuals involved consent that it can be made public. With respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
And Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
It's carried.
Thank you all for attending. Please drive safely home and have a spectacular week.